Hello, I'm Dorota Turlejski. I am the founder of Uplawed Professional Corporation. It's a law practice here in Ottawa, and I specialize in real estate and estates. When I started my business, I knew that I wanted to make the processes very efficient. I found that was something that was lacking where I was practicing before, and in my practice I wanted to implement a lean business model, meaning automating as much as possible and letting the business operate itself. And that's when I was fortunate to meet Chris, who has ran many businesses before, and a law practice, it turns out, is just like any other business, and the same principles apply to a law practice. Given that I was already seeing the business with a view to standardize, to automate, to kind of take out the unnecessary from my practice, having Chris advise me on things like operations, finance, and the marketing aspect was just indispensable to me at that point in time, and it continues to be. As a new company owner, somebody who's been employed for most of my life, you actually need to manage people, and that's something that I've never been faced with. So something that Chris brought to my business is just how to deal with people. And I mean, I have a background in psychology. Like, I have a master's in psychology, so you think, well, you know, I should be able to manage people in a company. Well, I have the theory, but the practice of it is very different. So again, Chris comes in and he simplifies things for you, and so he uses this coloring system for different personalities. And I had an issue one day with one of my assistants, and Chris said, well, okay, what is your assistant like? And he's like, okay, well, he's a blue, and you are I think we classified me as orange and a green. And he's like, yeah, those two sets of colors, those combinations, they tend to butt heads a little bit, and these are the strengths, these are the weaknesses. And it simplifies things, but it's also it proves to be true in the long run. So something that I've learned from Chris with respect to people and managing them is that you really need to hire slow and then fire fast. And you know, I never thought that way when I was an employee. So it was just and those lessons, some of them I've had to sort of live out on my own and live with the consequences. And I guess, again, what makes it bearable is just having Chris be like, yep, that's what happens, and this is okay. And it's always about the business, because it's a living, to me anyways, it's a living, breathing thing, and I need to give it the best it possibly can get. With Master Entrepreneur Coaching, it's a very flexible yet firm approach. So Chris literally meets with me in person. We talk over, you know, FaceTime or Google Hangout, and he's just always available if I need him. I've had a few, you know, one of those I need to talk right now moments, and Chris was available, just very level-headed and able to come to my rescue, I guess you could say. And also, speaking of accessibility, Chris has a way of like telling stories, like little vignettes that he uses to teach stories, and they're short, they're simple, and easy to understand, and you're like, oh yeah, that's true. So I think the program itself, I find it very accessible. I find it to be intelligent and very workable and flexible. So Master Entrepreneur coaching program has been a guiding light for me in my journey as a as a business owner, and I would recommend this system to anyone who's starting a business, or anyone who has had the 2 years in or 3 years in, and it really needs that just that direction, but also a system that's in place to get you to succeed in a way that you see success.